it's Candace the Edgy Veg, and today we are going to do another what I eat in a day video, except with a twist. I want to do a more realistic what I eat in a day video. So most of mine are, some of them are meal ideas, some of them are what I have eaten throughout the day, and I feel like a lot of people's what I eat in a day aren't really that achievable. I'm so excited though because today's video is sponsored by Daiya and their new and improved Daiya cutting board cheese shreds. Guys, I'm so excited to show you how good these are. I've been using them for the last couple of weeks to test them out and they are so delicious, but more on that a little bit later. All right guys, so with this what I eat in a day video, I wanna make it realistic. I wanna use leftovers. I'm gonna show you how I do some food prep to make cooking easier for myself throughout the week, kind of like a day in the life of what happens here at the Edgy Veg. Thank you.
My hair probably looks crazy.
My hair's dirty, that's why it's up like this. Hi. Okay, so breakfast, I'm just going to make like a PB&J smoothie. This is one of my favorite smoothies to make. It's really easy, it's simple. I kind of just use whatever ingredients I have in my house to make up the smoothie. I kind of just make it up on the spot. This is just some unsweetened coconut, yogurt, banana. Then I have hemp seeds and chia seeds that I'm just going to throw in. Usually I also throw in a protein powder, but I actually just ran out, so I'm not gonna do that. So I'm sticking about a cup of raspberries. I don't really measure anything when it comes to smoothies. I just kind of throw them in there. This is about a cup of the unsweetened yogurt. You can use whatever like plant-based yogurt you like. It doesn't have to be unsweetened. I just prefer unsweetened. Then about 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, depending on how much you want to taste the peanut butter. I find anything less than 2 tablespoons, you don't really taste it as much. You don't get that same like peanut butter and jelly feeling or flavor profile. And then about half of a banana. For some reason, I just find 1 banana in a smoothie is just too much. So I do about half. This can be frozen or fresh, whatever you have available. I didn't have any frozen because I don't have any protein powder. I'm gonna use hemp seeds, so I just buy these in bulk, keep them in jars and keep them in the freezer. And that just keeps them fresh. And then chia seeds, you can also do like flax seeds or whatever seeds you have that you like to throw into your smoothie, any superfoods you wanna throw in there. And then today I'm not going to do any greens. Sometimes I'll throw like greens powder in there or a handful of spinach, but I'm feeling kind of like a sweet smoothie today. I want it to be that nice red pink color as opposed to like swamp brown that most of my smoothies end up being because I throw so much stuff in them. I like to add a little pinch of salt because salt just really brings out the flavors in most foods. It just kind of enhances the flavor profile. But if you used salted peanut butter, don't add that because then it's just too much salt. It ends up just being a salty smoothie. All right, I'm just scraping down the side just because sometimes that yogurt or peanut butter can get stuck to the side. Blending it one more time. And I'm just adding, if you don't want to add water, you can add any sort of plant-based milk. I just find that it's cheaper this way because I'm not going through cartons and cartons and cartons of like almond milk or oat milk or soy milk. So I just do that. But sometimes if I want it to be creamier, I wanted that extra protein, I'll just stick soy milk in here. Okay, so that's how you make a smoothie. Welcome. I know it's something you've never seen before on a vegan channel. I don't want it to be too watery, but I also don't want it to be too thick either, else it takes me forever to drink it. It's so creamy from the coconut yogurt. Oh my gosh. It actually keeps quite well. So if you get hungry throughout the day, sometimes, I always make enough for Louie and whoever's here as well. But if it's just you and you do have leftovers, it keeps really well in the fridge. Just stick it in the fridge and then, blend it up with a little bit of water later on in the day. I'm going to drink this. I started doing my makeup. I'm gonna finish it. And then we are doing a couple shoots today and a bunch of work around the house. And we're a little ahead on videos, so we're doing kind of like a lazier day today. So yeah, that's it. That's all. I'm gonna drink this and I'll see you around lunchtime. Okay, so I like to make a couple easy meals throughout the week and a lot of like dips, things that I can kind of throw together. One thing I do like to make is hummus because we do eat a lot of hummus and naan, as well as I had some eggplant, so I also wanted to make a baba ganoush. We have the cooked, this is actually the Israeli style hummus from my blog. So I have the cooked chickpeas here. I've cooked them in some onion, or with some onion and garlic. I'm going to take out the onion because I don't want to blend that up, but I'm just going to blend everything up in here with some tahini, and then I'm pretty much going to do the exact same thing with the eggplant, and then I always have those on hand. So it's really easy to throw together like a mezza platter with like some olives and some naan or whatever. It's a nice easy snack that you can go to throughout the day. doesn't require a lot of work. And it does keep for the week, so that's great. But my favorite is to eat it when it's nice and warm. So I definitely like to make this right before I actually want to consume it. So for lunch, I'm going to have a sandwich and then a little bit of hummus on the side. So I have just some tahini here, and I'm going to add about like 2/3 of a cup. And I like to add in the tahini first, along with a little bit of the cooking liquid. And this just makes it really, really creamy. And in here I have just some garlic that was pulsed with some lemon. And that just helps take down the harshness of the garlic flavor. And I just turn it on. All right, now I'm just adding in the chickpeas. I like to just use one of these slotted spoons and grab the chickpeas and throw them in there, so then the excess water kind of drips out, but I still get some of the cooking liquid in there, and that will make the best hummus that you've ever had in your life. So definitely check that out if you haven't done so yet, and I promise you, you will never eat hummus the same way again. Okay, so I just transferred the hummus into just a little container. Last night I roasted a couple eggplants along with onion and then a Roma tomato. Now the Roma tomato and the onion are completely optional. I just like the flavor that it gives it. If you're not looking for like a super traditional baba ganoush, pretty much the same ingredients. I have lemon and garlic in here. Again, the garlic has been sitting in the lemon so it's not as harsh. And I'm just gonna pretty much do the exact same thing that I did with the hummus. I'm going to pulse the garlic and lemon. I didn't even bother cleaning this because it's pretty much all the same ingredients anyway. Unless someone has a chickpea allergy, I don't see the point. And no one here does. So I'm just going to blend that. Then I'm going to add a little bit of tahini, whiz that, and then add in our roasted eggplant. Now we roasted this for about an hour. It's 2 eggplants, 1 red onion, and 1 Roma tomato. Okay, now I'm going in and just literally plopping that in there. And it's going to be the same thing as the hummus. Just blend the heck out of that until it's smooth. I'm just going to transfer this to a Tupperware, just like I did with the hummus. And then I have these on hand. And these are great bases for sauces as well. You can, you know, thin it out with a little bit more tahini or a little bit of water and, you know, make some dressings and whatever. So it's good to have on hand for the week. This is also amazing if you are going to do some air fried cauliflower. You can use either the baba ganoush or the hummus as like dressing or a little dip or a sauce on top. It's really tasty. Usually when I serve this, I serve it with a little bit of sumac, which is a Middle Eastern spice. Okay, so I have these done. I'm going to whip myself up a quick sandwich for lunch. Have these on the side with some veggies. So this is my lunch and also snacks that we're eating. We're having a little team meeting. Molly's here, Anthony's here. Eric's behind the camera.
Hello.
Hi, Eric. So I just used some like vegan turkey slices, tomato. This is just like a salt, garlic, pepper, spice, and then some lettuce and put it on a bagel, woo, which is upside down. And then of course we need more vegetables and fruit, so that's your balanced eating. All right, dinner time. I like to prep a lot of my meals kind of ahead of time or get certain things ready beforehand so that when it comes to like dinner or that whatever meal it is, I don't feel like I'm cooking everything at once. But I wanted to show you one of my favorite recipes. It's been a really easy like weeknight recipe that we've been having for a lot of dinners, and that is my plant-based version of chicken enchiladas. For the kind of chicken base, I'm going to use jackfruit. So I have just gone ahead and shredded this jackfruit. So I just squeezed the seeds out, shred that so it kind of gets that like pulled chicken consistency. This is jackfruit in water or brine. It doesn't really taste like very much. It kind of just takes the flavor of whatever you cook it with. Usually with enchiladas, it's, you know, some sort of cheese, whatever protein you're using. There's not a lot in it in terms of like really like nutritional value in terms of like vegetables. So for mine, and you can customize, it's always different when I make these. You can customize it for whatever you have in the fridge. But today I had some yellow pepper in my fridge. I also have some leftover black beans, and I have some spinach that I need to use. So that's what I'm going to use inside of the actual like wrap part of the enchilada. It's really simple, basic, but super delicious, really comforting, really like crave worthy. You can make it out of ingredients you most likely already have in your home. All right, for the cheese, I'm going to use the Dea cutting board cheese shreds. Now I have the cheddar flavor here and I have the pepper jack flavor, and I'm going to combine them Honestly, this is so good. This was already a fan favorite and now they've updated it, and oh my God, it's like chef's kiss. It melts, it's stretchy, the flavor is so delicious. I highly recommend. This is definitely my go-to when it comes to plant-based cheese shreds. Okay, so let's start with the enchilada sauce. Again, like I said, I don't know why people buy it. It is so easy and cheap to throw together. The first thing I'm going to do is heat up 2 tablespoons of, this is just coconut oil. You can use whatever cooking oil you want to use. Okay, now I'm going to whisk in some flour and chili powder, as well as some cumin. And if you don't like the sound of my whisk, now is the time to tune out. So you constantly want to keep this whisking. You don't want it to burn, but you definitely want the flour to cook. If you undercook it, you'll taste it. If you just, you know, cook it for the amount of time that I'm going to tell you, you'll be fine. So now I'm going to add just some chili powder. And then also I like to add in paprika. And I also like to add in some cumin. And I like to throw the cumin in with everything else here, like spice-wise, just because I like the way that it kind of almost activates the cumin and you get a really nice, fragrant, deep flavor from it. So whisk that for about, I don't know, a couple minutes, and it will clump up, and that's okay. So you want it to bubble up. That's exactly what you're going for, and that means you can add the rest of your ingredients. So I like to slowly add in just some water. Keep whisking. Cooking something orange when you're wearing white is a terrible idea. All right, so continue whisking, add in more water. It's going to continue to get thick. That's fine, that's what we want. When I've added about half of my water, I like to add in some tomato paste. We have our tomato paste in there, and then our spices. So I have some onion powder, garlic powder, oregano, and a little bit of cayenne pepper. If you like things spicy, you can add a little bit more. If you don't like any spice whatsoever, leave it out. That's okay. Now I'm going to add in 1 vegetable bouillon cube. So I just kind of like break it up with my hands. You can do this with just water, but I like the flavor that a vegetable bouillon cube gives. A little extra something something. And then add the rest of your water. At this point, I like to switch to a wooden spoon so I can get into all the little nooks and crannies here. I'm gonna bring this to a simmer, and then as it simmers, it's going to thicken. This should take about 5 minutes or so. I feel like I'm working back in a kitchen again here with my towel here and my apron and tied around in the front. Okay, now I'm going to work on the chicken portion of the enchilada. So I'm just heating up some olive oil and then adding in some onion. You can use any type of onion that you want. I had a white onion, so that's what I'm using. It's just about half of a white onion or a small cooking onion, and then also just some chopped garlic. And that's going to be kind of the base here. I mean, that's the base to any sauce or recipe anyway, is onions, garlic, and oil. All right, so I'm going to cook these until they're translucent, about 3 to 5 minutes. So now I'm going to add in the jackfruit. All right, I'm gonna salt and pepper this. Now I'm going to cook this probably for about 5 minutes or so. I want some of the edges to be kind of charred, some to be a little soft, so you have a bit of texture difference. Okay, so at this point, you can add whatever vegetables you want. I'm going to add yellow bell peppers as well as black beans. Give that a toss. Okay, so now I'm going to add a little bit of our enchilada sauce. So coat everything completely. This is a great way to hide any veggies in your food if you have like kids, for example. My whole thing is I love to eat comfort foods, and I love to eat foods, you know, that have a nostalgic property. I want to love what I eat, so I like really hearty, delicious food, and my way of doing that is sticking in some vegetables. Okay, so I'm gonna bring this down to like a medium low and just give this some time to connect and meld and marry with flavor. I'm going to add in the spinach. So I like to cut this really small and just sprinkle it in. But if you are really struggling to get anyone in your house to eat greens, this is an amazing way to really just shove it in there. A little spoonful of that enchilada sauce and let that wilt. And then we are going to add our Daiya cheese shreds. So Daiya recently introduced a new version of their fan favorite, the cutting board cheese shreds. Honestly, it's the best like stretch, texture flavor of any Daya shred to date. I'm super excited. I'm going to add in both the pepper jack and the cheddar just to get like a nice variety in cheese flavor, but let me show you how it like pulls and stretches. So the new texture and flavor and like the fact that it pulls apart very similar to dairy cheese as opposed to plant-based cheese is that they've now added chickpea protein. All right, so I'm adding about half of a cup of the Daya cutting board cheese shreds in cheddar, and then about half a cup of the Daya cutting board cheese shreds in pepper jack. Then just mix that around so that it melts. You can already see how it's like so melty and gooey and stretchable. Look at this, it's so stretchy. And they have 4 flavors. So you have lots of variety to choose from. There's the mozzarella, the pepper jack that we're using, the cheddar that we're using, and also a new cheddar and mozzarella style blend. All right, so here's what we are going to do to build this thing. So I have my oven preheated to 350, and I'm going to take, I just have my ice cream scooper, so I'm just gonna scoop one ice cream scooper amount into each tortilla, roll it up and put it into this casserole dish. But I'm going to just add a little bit of the sauce on the bottom of the dish here to prevent it from sticking. Kind of like you do with a lasagna with the marinara, just so that nothing sticks to the bottom. These are just flour tortillas. You can use corn. Most traditional recipes are done with corn. It's easier for me to find the flour ones, and it's going to be easier for you guys to find the flour ones, but make sure that they are the small ones. Roll it. I mean, if you like yours to be really full, you can make a bit more of the filling. I think we'll probably get about 6 in here. So I like, you know, like a medium amount. I prefer no crispy edges for my enchiladas. Some people like crispy edges. Recipes are really just a guideline. Okay, now I'm going to top this with equal amounts of the Daya's cutting board cheese shreds in cheddar and then also in pepper jack. You are going to be amazed. And then it also kind of like you get a little crispy bits too. I like to overcook the cheese a little bit so that you get some like soft gooey mouthfuls, and then you also get some nice like crispy, almost like a fried cheese mouthful. I have to do like about a cup along the top. And when you are shopping for your Daya cutting board cheese shreds, look for the red symbol right here. It says made with chickpea, and that's how you know that it is the new version of it. Put this into the oven uncovered for about 20 to 25 minutes depending on your oven. Let's do it. Look at this stretchy, cheesy, oh my god, melty, delicious cheese shreds. Oh my god, this is so decadent and delicious. Honestly guys, the Daya cutting board cheese shreds they're the best. They're the closest thing I've been able to find to regular dairy cheese. Definitely go out, give all 4 flavors a try. Look out for that little red label there. You have to make this recipe. It is to die for. And there you have it, a delicious, cheesy, plant-based chicken enchilada. Thank you so much again to Daya. This is bomb. I will leave more information in the description box down below. That is a typical what I eat in a day in my real life, how I use leftovers from my fridge, how I prep things for the next day. If you like these what I eat in a day videos, give this video a big huge thumbs up and let me know what a typical day of eating looks like for you in the comment section down below. I'm tired. I'm gonna like eat this and veg out on the sofa and binge watch something. Okay, bye.